Yeah, so while we were on break, California State Athletic Commission came in and did a out of competition drug test on Debo. I got the official letter right here. It says right there, official. And he got popped for banned substances. Yeah, I mean, I know he was taking those Flintstone vitamins. I don't know what else he was on, but unfortunately, he is going to be suspended for a minimum of 22 episodes and up to $37 in fines. $37. It's ridiculous. So, Debo's suspended right now. So, now that we got that out of the way, let's move on. Here's the new intro. MMA show around the world. I'm Mighty, your host for tonight. So let's jump right back into it. We've been on break for a while, and we still got the belt on the champion. There's Debo over here. So I mean, what we can do since he's suspended, we got these cool stickers that come with the custom ink shirts when we get them made, and we'll just go like that. We'll just go like that for now, and I'll put that over there for him till he gets off suspension. So we'll put that over there for now. So anyways, there's so much to talk about. So much has happened since we've been on break. It's been, I think, 5 or 6 weeks, something of that nature. Kane loses his title. Verdum comes in. And you know what? We're going to touch a little bit about some of these fights that have passed, and then we'll jump into some rumors, and then we'll get into some upcoming fights. So we got a lot talked about, so I'll try to get through as much as I can. So let's talk about Kane. UFC 188, Mexico. And, the best fighter doesn't always win. The smartest fighter usually wins. And I'm not saying Verdum's not a good fighter, because he's excellent, but he was smart. And Kenny Florian put it out there, and he's talking about when you're going to train or fight in elevation, your body takes so long to get acclimated to it. And he said 6 to 8 weeks. Kane only went out to Mexico 2 weeks prior to the fight. Verdum went out 2 months prior to the fight. So my hat's off to Verdum. He really took it seriously. He went out there. He did everything he could. And you can tell that it really paid off for more than one reason. Not just winning the title, obviously, but you can tell in the cardio. I mean, it's no big secret. Anyone that watches the UFC knows that Kane has probably the best cardio, for sure, in the heavyweight division, and across the board. He probably has cardio of some of the bantamweight and featherweight and flyweight fighters out there. His cardio was unparalleled, but you can tell he was just winded, and it's because of that high elevation out there in Mexico City. So hats off to Verdum, man. He did it right. I would love to see a rematch back here in the States where it's at sea level or 100 feet above sea level, and with maybe, Kane has some ring rust. I'm not making any excuses. It was a great fight. I like both the fighters. So that's what happened at UFC 188. It was pretty exciting. I liked it. It was a good fight. Some other stuff, so much has happened, but UFC 189. Unreal. The card, phenomenal. Let's just talk about McGregor and Mendez. A lot of questions were answered. I think for some people, some other people still have a lot of doubt. But Chad is a phenomenal wrestler. He was able to take McGregor down. He actually caught McGregor a couple times. He cut McGregor over his right eye, I believe it was. And McGregor still was able to pull out the win, so kudos to him. I love both the fighters. Mendez, local boy here in Northern California, fighting out of Team Alpha Male with Uriah and company. So, the hometown heroes I always root for, but McGregor, he just has it. He has that either you love him or you hate him. So, pick and choose. I personally like him. He does talk a lot of ish, but he backs it up. So now we got to see the real match. We got to see the Aldo fight against McGregor. That's what everyone was waiting for. And I think now, if anything, it's just brought that much momentum to the fight, I believe. I don't think him fighting Mendez because he won, I don't think it slowed it down any. If he lost, obviously the mystique around that fight and all the hype around that fight and all the trash talk around that fight, it definitely loses its market value. So now that he has fought Mendez, he beat Mendez, and now he can unify the interim and the actual featherweight titles, that's going to be a very interesting matchup. And it'll be interesting to see where the line is too. So that happened just a couple weeks ago. We've had numerous Bellator fights. We've had some World Series of Fighting, Invicta. There's, tons of stuff that we've obviously have missed the last 5 or 6 weeks while we're on break. And I can't obviously go over all of it, but those were two of the things I want to talk about. And another thing I can't leave out is that Robbie Lawler, Rory McDonald fight. That was an insane fight too, and that also was on UFC 189. If you didn't get to see that card, check it out. I don't know if it's still available on pay-per-view because it's been a while, or if you have a friend that DVR'd it, or, I'm not going to say go download it because we don't condone that. We don't condone that, you know what I'm saying? So just go check it out. See if you can find it somewhere. It's definitely worth watching if you haven't seen it. It's by far one of the best fight cards I've seen in a long time, and it's probably one of my top 10 favorite cards of all time. I thought it was that entertaining. All 5 fights on the pay-per-view were finishes, and some of them were pretty insane finishes at that. So anyways, news and rumors as far as what's going on. Obviously, the Reebok deal still causing a lot of commotion amongst fighters, fans, everybody. And today, Stitch, I guess he said something. He spoke his mind about how he felt about the Reebok deal. And I guess the UFC brass didn't like that, and they let him go. That's harsh. Obviously, I've met Stitch numerous times. He is a great guy. I love that guy. He's awesome. He's great at what he does. He's been a figure in the UFC for as far back as I can remember. So to see someone like him go it's sad. It's just like Burt Watson. It's another incident. Different, obviously, but same thing where you have someone that has been around the organization so long that is a fixture and something that you just expect, almost take for granted if you would. So it's sad to see him go. I know a lot of people are petitioning to say, hey, Dana, Uncle Dana, let him back in. Things happen. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully he can come back in, because I would really like to see him back in the organization. And if he can't, I'm sure there's plenty of other organizations, Bellator, World Series of Fighting, Invicta, they'd be more than happy to pick him up. He's a seasoned vet, and he's a great guy. So that's that. All right, this is a quick show. I gotta get the wheels greased up. I gotta get back into it. So let's talk about this weekend, Saturday, UFC on Fox. There's a lot of interesting matchups on this fight card, but I'll primarily talk about just the co-main event and the main event. I will mention, though, Darren Cruikshank's on that card. He's one of our followers. Love to Darren. And Jessamine Duke's on that card, one of the Dukes of Hazzards. So she's one of our followers as well, so much love to her. And then also, you had a couple interesting matchups. Gomi's on that fight card. Barbosa's on that fight card. But let's start with the co-main event. And that is going to be Miesha Tate against Jessica Evil Eye against Cupcake. Evil against Cupcake. Flying Brian would probably have to go with Evil on this one if you're talking about nickname recognition. Cupcake is not very intimidating, I'm sad to say. Oh, you know what? I do want to make one point prior to talking about this. Brian Caraway is also on this fight card, who is Miesha's longtime boyfriend. That is a good/bad thing. Brian fights, obviously, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights, whatever it is, before Miesha fights. So he's earlier on the card. I think he's on the Fox or the FX prelims, whatever the regular prelims are, not the Facebook or the UFC Fight Pass, but the regular ones. The problem is that I see with this, and I hear about this, and you see this from time to time, is when you have people that are real close, whether they're teammates or brothers, like the Pettis brothers, And if Caraway should lose, that might set Misha in a funk, and then I mean, I guess it's all part of the game, but it's got to be hard. It's got to be hard. So, anyways, I just want to bring that up. I find that to be it could be a distraction. I know Sergio voiced his opinion about the last time he fought, and Anthony Pettis was talking about the last time he fought, and Sergio fought on the card before him, and I think it was when he lost the title to RDA that it distracted him and it messed him up, and he doesn't want to fight on the same fight card as his brother anymore. I can see that being a legit issue. You see a little brother get beat up or something, it's going to probably mess with you a little bit, right? So anyways, part of the fight game, it is what it is, but people have talked about it. So anyways, back to the co-main event. Miesha Tate, Jessica Eye. I will say this, Jessica Eye, great striker. She's fought some legitimate people. But what I will say about Miesha Tate is she's fought the best of the best. I mean, she's fought Ronda Rousey twice. She's the only fighter to take Ronda Rousey beyond the first round. She actually went to the third round with her the second time they fought. So she's pretty much seen it all. She has a couple losses under her belt, obviously, against Ronda. She's lost against Kat Zingano. But you know what? I think Miesha is a little bit above Jessica. I think Jessica's a good fighter, but I'm going to have to give this one to Miesha Tate. I think she takes this. But we'll see what happens. I'm not always right. And, I have no one to disagree with anymore, so we're just going to have to go with that. Main event. This is an interesting matchup. And not because of who they are, but because of their previous experience together in the octagon. So I guess it is who they are. So I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyways, TJ Dillashaw against Renan Barao. Now, the first time around, I thought hands down Barao was going to take this. I think probably everyone outside of TJ and his mom and maybe a couple of the Team Alpha Male guys thought Barao was going to take this. It was, it was so skewed, right? That's when they changed the title, Never Trust the Odds or Never Believe in the Odds or whatever it was, right? So, you know what though? I don't know where I'm at on this. Barao, outside of his very first professional fight, and TJ, he's virtually beaten everyone he's fought. And of his 30-something wins, over 20 of them are finishes. So the guy's a monster. He's a beast. And prior to Dillashaw beating him, he was considered definitely one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. And on some people's list, he was the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. So, gosh, you know what? I think the only thing that really leaves a much doubt in my mind is because of the way the fight went last time. But I don't know if I can see it going like that again. As much as I want to see TJ win, I think Barao gets the victory this time. I think Barao's going to win. And I hate to say that because TJ, local boy, like I said, Northern California, Bay Area. Well, technically he's not in the Bay, but we'll claim it anyway. Alpha male, Uriah and company. I got love for those guys. But man, I don't know. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong, but I got to go with Barao. I got to go with Barao on this one. So, anyways, short but sweet. I appreciate you tuning in. I do apologize for the bad news with Debo being on the sidelines for a little while. Hopefully he will be back at some point, but as of right now, if you're peeing dirty, Athletic Commission comes in, they got to fine you, they got to ban you, they suspend you, so whatever. So I guess for now, we could just, it's going to be chant mighty all season long, obviously, right? So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Mighty, have a great night.